This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 333. Do one small thing, then do another. By Wagner with budgetsaresexy.com. And I am Dan, your host and narrator, bringing you some of the best blogs on personal finance, and I'm here doing it each Monday through Friday. If you've got any requests for me, maybe an idea for a post you'd like to hear, an author you'd like to see read on Optimal Finance Daily, come share it with me at oldpodcast.com. And today's post comes to you from guest author Babs Wagner over at budgetsaresexy.com. And if you like what you hear, Justin actually read a post from her in episode 470 of Optimal Living Daily. And you can check out that episode and make sure you subscribe to that podcast as well. Again, that is episode 470 of Optimal Living Daily. But for now, let's get to today's post as we optimize your life. Do one small thing, then do another. By Babs Wagner with budgetsaresexy.com. By now, we're well enough into 2012 that everyone who made a New Year's resolution has sorted themselves into one of two groups. The first is the minuscule group of folks who kept their resolutions. God bless all three of you overachievers. The second group is the extremely large number of folks who blew their resolutions and now live with one more blot on the family escutcheon. I hate when that happens, and I have the many blots to prove it. I don't make New Year's resolutions anymore. I have discovered the only resolution I'll ever make, and I make it every single day. Before I tell you this secret to success and happiness in every aspect of life, pay no mind to today's post title. Let me tell you what got me to this point. By the ripe old age of 29, I had already declared bankruptcy, been fired from my first grown-up job, and had my wages garnished for failure to pay my guaranteed college loans on time. Since I lost my credit cards in the bankruptcy, and wasn't familiar with the concept of living within my means, I had gotten into a nasty habit of getting myself payday loans by cashing bad checks just about every month. I was broke, jobless, and living on unemployment when it finally dawned on me that I needed to get my financial life in order. I had so many problems it was overwhelming getting started. So I did the only thing I could do. I lived within my means. I got a job, and each payday I would pay my bills, grocery shop, and cash a check for what was left in the account. I put the cash in my wallet and the checkbook in my desk, and that was it until the next payday. No more bad checks. It certainly wasn't the height of financial savvy, but I learned to track every penny, and I felt pretty responsible after a few months. The next year, I got a raise, so I had my employer automatically buy savings bonds each month. They aren't the greatest investment, but I couldn't easily undo the automatic investment and couldn't easily cash them in. My portfolio started growing, and I was feeling pretty mature money-wise. About this time, I married my husband, a guy with only slightly better financial chops than me. Between the two of us, we had car and credit card loans over $55,000 in today's dollars, all with interest rates in the 20% plus range. So we decided to pay off all our debts as fast as we could. We lived on one paycheck, and it took us over a year. We felt fantastic when we got that debt off our shoulders. Since we knew we could live on that one paycheck, we started investing the amount we'd been allocating to debt. After that, we became pretty savvy about all things financial, and it got lots easier to make good decisions. We definitely started late and moved slowly, but all the baby steps added up over time, and we'll be retiring in our early 50s, never to work again. So, have you guessed what my resolution is? It sure isn't get it together and do everything right this year. Every time I vowed to do everything perfectly, I found myself breaking my resolution almost instantly. I noticed this was true with more than finances. I'm going to get in shape, lose 20 pounds, and eat healthy lasted about a week. I really mean it. I'm going to get this entire house squeaky clean, organized, and beautifully decorated this year. Didn't last past cleaning out the kitchen junk drawer. I'm going to cook a healthy meal for my family every night. Immediately failed when I forgot to defrost the chicken, and we were back on the fast food trail for good. Every time I made a big plan, I crashed and burned. It turns out I'm not perfect. My self-discipline is spotty, and it's really hard sticking with a resolution that I was continually failing to meet. So I stopped making resolutions and plans, and I try to live with just one goal every day. Do one small thing, then do another. In the financial realm, I just lived within my means, which gave me the motivation to save money. On the health front, I went to one Weight Watchers meeting, which got me to another, and a year later to a loss of 40 pounds. On the home front, I cleaned off my desk, which felt so good I got the whole house reasonably clean and organized after several months. I started nagging other members of the family to do some of the cooking, and after a year, we're down to one night a week of eating out. Do one small thing, then do another. I don't set huge goals, and I don't beat myself up if I'm moving slowly. I just keep doing small things, and eventually they add up to a lot more success than all the big resolutions I never kept. From what I've seen in your comments, most of you are way smarter than I was and am. I suspect many of you actually keep your resolutions every year. But on the off chance that some of our community is normal and not perfect, how about you share your one small thing? What would you tell someone struggling with unemployment or underemployment, too much debt or too little savings? How did you get started on the road to financial goodness? You just listened to the post titled Do One Small Thing, Then Do Another by Babs Wagner with budgetsaresexy.com. And kind of funny that this post started out talking about being well into the year 2012. Clearly this was written a while ago, but it definitely still applies today. And a little info about the author, since this was a guest post on J Money's site. Barbara Wagner, Babs, has a business degree, but had to learn most of what she knows the hard way. Nowadays, her mission is to inspire others to learn from her mistakes using humor. And if you want to hear another post of hers, which Justin read on Optimal Living Daily, you can check out episode 470. It's a funny one. And of course, you can hear even more blog posts being narrated to you for free on that show, where Justin reads to you about minimalism, self-improvement, and much more. Just search for Optimal Living Daily wherever you're hearing this show, or come by oldpodcast.com/listen. And that's it for today. Have a great rest of your day, and I will be back tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this podcast, but also Optimal Living Daily, the show where I read to you from even more blogs covering finance, productivity, minimalism, personal development, and more from incredible bloggers like Derek Sivers, Zen Habits, Mark and Angel, The Minimalists, and all the ones you hear on this show too. So if you enjoyed today's episode and like taking amazing blogs on the go, come on over to Optimal Living Daily and subscribe to that one too. And together, we'll start optimizing your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Finance Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode, and head to oldpodcast.com, that's OLDpodcast.com, for a free gift as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.